Welcome to the Kid and Drag Gaming Podcast. This is Kid.
And this is Drag. Remember, if you're enjoying the content, go check us out on our socials. Follow us so we post our latest updates. On Instagram, you can look for us at Kid in Drag. On Facebook, same thing, Kid in Drag. If you're follow us on Twitter, go for Drag Kid In. Also, check out our website at kidindrag.chat. You can find all of our latest episodes. All of our stuff is out there. You can contact us. We can get direct feedback from you and help you get the content you want to hear. Now, let's talk about all the stuff you want to talk about. And today we're here to talk to you a little bit more about Borderlands 3 coming up pretty damn soon. We're launching on September 13th and going to do a hell of a lot of streaming that game. Kid Rolla and I have dedicated the weekend, taking a couple days off work just to check out the game. We're going to be live on Twitch for hours and hours and hours on the opening weekend. And we thought it was time to get that hype rolling again on the Borderlands 3 and talk about some of the awesome things that you need to look forward to and what gets you excited about it. So, Kid, tell us a little bit about what we're going to talk about today.
Well, one of the things that caught my eye right off the bat when they announced Borderlands 3 is they have 1 billion guns. So we're going to kind of go in a little bit more in depth on how that is and a few other extra tidbits that you hadn't thought about. So, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and start off with, I was watching some YouTube videos trying to figure all that junk out, and I found a really good one about each weapon has about 35 parts per each gun. So that's pretty cool. It's a little bit more than the prior Borderlands. Borderlands 2 had 250 gun parts total in the system, and Borderlands 3 has around 1,700 gun parts. So, yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, so if you're looking at what is this going to do? I mean, in gameplay, I think it's going to give just some unparalleled customization that whether it be with the character, which I know we've talked about in a prior episode, but in the guns, when you're talking about all these guns, you can really kind of make it what you want. There's enough parts out there. If you have the time to grind, you will be able to put together just a gun that you love to play with.
Yeah, for each play style, everybody's different. So that's the one really awesome thing about it is just how crazy custom you can get your guns in this. Each gun has 3 different barrels, 3 different scopes, 5 stocks, 5 foregrips, also 3 different barrel mods. So that's going to be interesting there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think when you start looking at not just the mods, but there are these crazy add-ons. When you look at the TDR guns in Borderlands 2 that had the ability to explode when you reload, I think they've taken that to the next level in Borderlands 3 and gave some extra boom, if you will, to the guns that are out there now. So what are some of those things that you thought were pretty cool, or what gets you excited about some of the custom reloads or the explosive nature of the guns?
Well, really, I like the thing that caught my eye was where you can have one that's if you're running gunning and then you can instantly zoom in and switch scopes or modify it, if you will. I think that's going to bring an awesome element to the game that I'm going to love, especially when I go Rambo mode and you have to come in there and save my booty. You can zoom in and get those guys off of me. That's just going to be incredible.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see the spider gun or whatever you want to call it, where you throw the gun down, it'll chase down a baddie and explode on him instead of like the TDR, which when I shot that gun and reloaded, I'm like, oh shit, that's right, it's going to blow up, and I had to real quick figure out where I'm going to throw the gun. I think this is going to be a pretty cool little element that it's going to work like a little homing beacon. And it kind of reminds me of an old movie with Gene Simmons in there where they had those little robots that ran around and like blew everything up, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how many times I had a rocket launcher and forgot that it sucker takes off and blows up, and I just wind up killing myself standing next to something.
Yeah, it's a little fun. You don't expect to die once or twice in this game, do you?
Yeah, a whole lot. I'm going to need you to pick me up quite a few times, probably.
Yeah, I think so.
One of the neat things that is coming to the game, though, is Children of the Vault guns. They're an abandoned manufacturer. So what that means is with these guns, no reloading, so you're going to have cooldown rates, if you will. Made the guns from the desert. They would use engine parts, RC parts. There's even glow plugs in there to that they add on the gun. So I wonder what kind of crazy combinations late game when this game's been around for 2 or 3 years. What kind of crazy parts are going to be hanging off your gun?
Oh yeah, I know the graphics are going to be there, so I think it's going to make for some really cool visual effects with having all these ad hoc guns. I'm just excited to see this. Are you really going to be walking down where you can clearly define and see that you got a glow plug stuck in the side of your gun or whatnot? I think that's going to be really wicked.
I want to see if they have hula hula girls bobbing around on your gun for a sight.
Shoot between the
Yeah,
legs, not through the legs.
yeah, for sure. So the laptop gun was the inspiration for guns with legs.
All right, so those laptop guns basically were initially just turrets, and the laptop gun said, "Well, if they can walk, we can walk too." And they put legs on them and made them chase down the people. So I thought that was pretty dope with having that guns with legs. Looks like they came to had the thought like a year before they even started on the game.
Yeah, a fun fact is I was watching some videos on it, and they got the inspiration for guns with legs from Perfect Dark from the turret gun. So it's kind of crazy how that's one thing I love about the company is they just take awesome things from prior games and just get wonky with it and go crazy.
Mhm. So I think it's going to be pretty sick. Just overall, I think that is one of the biggest hype messages about the game. I think overarching it's just the customization, but when you really think about a billion guns, I mean that's just unbelievable. All the combinations that you're going to have, right, on just random loot and all this other stuff that you're going to be able to find. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's one of the biggest attractions is the customization. Then you're going to have a ton of guns uh, in just that realm without getting into all the character customization that we had talked about on a previous episode, where you literally have you've got four classes, but you've literally got hundreds of different combinations of characters that you can build because you're not going to be able to just grind out and max out every characteristic in every character. You're really going to have to pick your path. So when you look at the customization between guns and then the customization between heroes, I think you got to be a little thoughtful about what you're really going to spend your energy on and how you're going to develop your character before you jump in, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely the more video I watch on that, man, it is crazy how much more polished the gunplay, if you will, is in the game from prior ones. Just how you can switch everything. I can't wait.
So the next big thing about this is the Vault Insider program. If you have not already pre-purchased a game, I would encourage you to do so because there are a few little tidbits that you're going to get ahead of time. And I'm constantly getting emails. They're giving me bonus keys for Borderlands 2 and 1 and getting some additional things there. But tell me a little bit about this Vault Insider program.
So the program is a rewards program that gives registered users loot points for checking out Borderlands content. So when you watch streams, you get inside content for the game, chest keys, loot, and skins. You will need a Vault Insider login and Shift account login. So that's pretty cool. I like this element where you can watch streamers and potentially get the same loot that they're doing. That's definitely some next
Mhm.
tier stuff they're doing in gaming that I really appreciate, especially if they get an awesome drop, man. I mean, and not only that, but you can definitely tell where streaming has advanced so much that they're integrating it in game content.
Mhm. Yeah, and just a shameless plug, make sure you check us out on Twitch. We'll be streaming through Dragon X and Kid Rolla nonstop. Like I've got a commitment to get out like 60 hours opening weekend from Friday through Monday, and then I'll continue streaming some through the week. But we're gonna grind out a ton of hours. Hopefully, get you guys a bunch of loot out there. So come by, say hi, play along with us, whatever. We're gonna grind out a ton of hours through the game and see how much we can ruin our brain before the weekend's over.
Oh, for sure. Now, one of the elements they had in the prior game was slag, and it's been replaced by a new element, radiation. And the cool thing about radiation is just like all the other ones, it's dots, damage over time. But this one, you have a chance to explode enemies. And then when they do that, it's an area effect. So essentially, you could just keep that chain going. So that's pretty awesome. I'm wondering what kind of crazy combos we can get with that going.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially with the interplay with the field of play, if you will, the cans, the things like that that you can push around, throw things through. You know, you can push slag barrels and or not slag, I guess it's radiation this go around, but you can actually push those and run the enemies into it and make some really cool combos that way. So I think the gameplay is going to be next level for sure.
Yeah, one of the new things I'm glad they integrated in the game is the lost and found box. So basically, whenever you shoot something and those guns go everywhere and you're at the edge of the map and they all go bye bye, you're like, well, that was probably a legendary gun I've spent 9 years trying to get. Now it's off the map, so that's sucks. So now you can just go to the lost and found box and pick up your stuff.
Oh yeah, that's going to be unbelievable. But I can already dread, like with every game out there, where in the hell are you going to put all these things? Right. I mean, I think about playing Borderlands in the past and all the guns that I pick up when I'm not gluttonously using shift keys over and over again, but just trying to pair up some good guns and good parts. And I'm thinking, my God, the vaults are got to be huge in this game. And I hope there's a lot of places to go put stuff so you can sort through this. I'm just thinking through the combinations you're going to have, how many pieces. Now you're not going to lose the guns as frequently. So, man, it ought to be just a total cluster.
Yeah. One of the other things they've got coming up is mantle up after jumping. Oh my God, that's going to be so amazing. Because I couldn't tell you how many times I've ran, jumped, and slid off the corner of the edge I'm
Yep.
trying to get to. And now you got to climb up and start all over again with
Yep.
the addition of the slide now. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think so because when you look at Borderlands 1 and 2, if you think about the gameplay, it's really a focus on two-dimensional game in a lot of ways. There's not really that second level like you get with Tomb Raiders or games like that where you're playing a multi-tier deal. You basically had a map that you run around that you might have to go all the way around an area to come back and get to that second level. I think this will add a lot of new interplay, just being able to, and dimensions literally, that you'll have in the game by being able to mantle, go up to the next levels, so on and so forth. I think it'll give a lot of ability to increase the gameplay in a local area as opposed to having to run all the way around a certain area to get to another. And how many times have you jumped off one of those stupid freaking buildings and just wish you could have mantled back and not died?
Oh man, it's countless. I'm just wondering if they're going to integrate double jump. I'm kind of
Man,
shocked that they didn't do that.
yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of reserved about that because that takes it to I know Borderlands is a pretty fantastical game anyway, but that kind of takes it a little bit more to that cartoon realm, and I think it's pretty far there. I'm okay without the double jump. The mantle I think gives it that ability. I'm kind of here nor there. Maybe if they had one class, if you level it up to a certain level that you could unlock that particular skill, possibly I could see that working. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of okay with that as long as the game is built around that.
Yeah, I got through playing Rage 2, man. It had the double jump, and that was just so nice. I hadn't played a game in a while that had it. I was like, "Ooh, Borderlands need to do
Well, we're talking about a class A game here now.
that." So the instance loot. Now, pretty much high level players can get in there with the nubs, and go around, kill stuff, and then you ain't got to worry about loot ninjas coming everywhere, taking your stuff, and it will scale to the person's level. So
Well,
I really definitely appreciate that.
I'm gonna go ahead and get my crystal ball out here and tell you guys a little story about what's gonna happen. Is Kid Roll and I are gonna sit here and play this game a bunch. He's gonna pass out, and I'm gonna level up like 19 levels while he's asleep. And I'm thinking like in past Borderlands games, we're like, oh crap, you got to log in as the lead character. We got to go back till we get you leveled up to this level or whatnot to play. Well, this kind of nixes all that, so it doesn't interrupt my personal gameplay. Just because I'm gonna put 20 hours a day in, and he's only gonna put 18, he's not gonna be punished for that. So I think that's an amazing tack to take that you can play along with your friends and still have an enjoyable time, if you will. You're not going to be looted out. The leveling of the loot's not going to be changed drastically. You're not going to have to reset, or I'm not going to have to log into his instance to play. So I think that will be pretty awesome just for the difference in hours all of our friends play and who we play with, right? So I think that'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think I've got 4 or 5 characters, a variety of levels just from doing that crap. And,
Mhm.
and like you said, you get in there and play for a while. You're like, well, you're gonna have to log back in this other one that you're gonna have to remember how to play that we started 3 months ago. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be great.
Yeah, and I think if you look at, the focus they're putting on streaming here, that really makes a difference if you're gonna play with viewers as a streamer, which I guarantee we will do. And if you get somebody that's just starting a game and they haven't put 15 hours in the first day like we have, it won't be so painful to come in, jump in, play along with your favorite streamers and so on and so forth.
Absolutely. So the vehicles in this game are very customizable. So you basically go and hijack vehicles, take them to the catch a ride. You can change chassis, wheels, armor, weapons, color, and you can even pick how many people sit in it. So I wonder, I guess 1 to 4, because that's all you can do is 4 people, right?
Right, but I think I'm only gonna have one-seaters. You're running the whole time.
No, I'm gonna be hanging on the bumper getting drugged, son. That'd be
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Shoot to the side or
Yeah, I
behind
would think it would have to be a 1 to 4. We're definitely gonna have to find some people that are willing to grind some hours out with us because we got some, we're gonna have a lot of play, and man, you think about playing a intended 4-player game on hard mode and all that stuff, you only got 2 players, so we'll definitely have to party up. Hopefully, it is a 4-seater, but I'm guessing it'll be, pretty neat regardless, and who knows what they're gonna come out with in the future,
I
right?
wonder if you're gonna be able to have like chain guns per seat. That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, or do, like the battlefields where you've got different type of gun at each position of the vehicle and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited to see what kind of vehicle play they have, especially that it's customizable. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
So content in this game, we're looking at roughly 35 hours of just story gameplay. That's going to be incredible. And side missions alone, there's oh my god, they talk about how it's way huger than the other two.
Mhm.
So I wonder how many hours we're gonna have to soak before they start releasing expansions.
Yeah, I mean, you think about how it starts because this is one major part that's changed, right? You're not going to be stuck on Pandora. You're going to have a spaceship that works as one of your safe houses, if you will, that you can travel to other destinations, other maps, and things like that. So you can imagine how convoluted the side missions were in Borderlands 2. I mean, good God, you could literally spend 3 weeks just playing side missions and never advance in the story at all and level yourself way up. So, if they're expanding that, now you've got other ports, which I know it's going to emulate some of the transport features and all that stuff, but you're going to have these maps on different worlds, different places. And man, like 35 hours, you got to be kidding me. I don't think you would do anything in 35 hours.
And a lot of games nowadays, at the 60, $70 price point are I think Resident Evil 2 I beat in 13 hours. So just seeing
Mhm.
35 hours of just regular story gameplay is amazing.
Yeah, that's a pretty big game. And then it looks like they're going to cap the initial launch level at 50. So the question is, how long is it going to take us to get to level 50? I
Oh,
need a commitment
I'm
right now.
I'm saying by our 4-day vacation's over with is my
We're gonna get
goal.
all right. There's the goal right there. We've got Friday the 13th, which is an amazing day to launch anything. I'm just saying. So I might be streaming some Friday the 13th movies in the backgrounds, but Friday the 13th, all the way up until not just the 14th, 15th, but the 16th, we're going to be playing nonstop, just a ton of it. And that's the goal is we're going to get to level 50 in that weekend.
We're going to do it too. So in Borderlands 1, the cap hit after it was out for a while. 69, Borderlands 2, the cap was 80. So I wonder if they're going to actually take this to cap 100 once everything's out.
Yeah, and well, if you think about the number of gameplay hours there, they've bought themselves a little time for expansions and things like that. So that'll be pretty cool. I think, the ultimate Borderlands fans and the people that really play Borderlands, they fall in love with the side missions, right? I mean, how many years have they done these minor expansion packs, which added a half a dozen or 40 side missions or whatever else? And frankly, those diehard Borderlands fans are still playing Borderlands today. They're still going out and playing side missions. So if you've got 35 hours of straight gameplay, then untold number of side missions. There's no telling. I'm kind of scared to see what there is in Borderlands 3. But I think they bought themselves a little bit of time to worry about expansions.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, one thing, since they just keep taking everything to the next level, the duels will be back in the game. But I wonder if they're going to jump on the bandwagon of the battle royales, or what kind of crazy stuff will they do with PvP in this game?
Yeah, I have made this apparent in other podcasts, but I'm not a huge fan of the battle royales. I think it has its place. I feel like it's waning to some degree. Now it's just a short time that a game is popping out with the battle royale and people are playing it. I hope they don't go fully that way. However, the PvP gameplay, I'll still go back to saying that nothing ever topped Left 4 Dead for me. I would love to see any kind of play like that where you've got a true 4-on-4, something like that. Maybe with the don't forget about the animal handling in this version too. You're going to have pets, or you're going to be able to tame pets with certain characters, and when you get to certain levels. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to have some fun with that PvP, and I hope they do something to entice that crowd over, because I think Fortnite did a really poor job with this, and that's integrating their PvP with their PvE game. And obviously, they had one of the most popular PvP games ever to launch in video game history, but yet they didn't really integrate their PvE, and they kind of put that on the back shelf, and you just don't see many people playing it. I would
Yeah,
love to see Borderland kind of bridge that gap better.
yeah, it kind of ruined it for me too. The one thing though, they will have skin packs back in the game, different heads, clothes, gun skins. Do you think they're gonna go microtransactions with that?
I think they have to some degree, because you're looking at being competitive out there in the game space. Which, being competitive, you got to remember, they got to have server space, they got to pay a ton of programmers, and frankly, the microtransactions out there today are eclipsing games sales for top titles like within weeks. Right? We've talked about that before. Where mobile games like Clash of Clans and Clash Royale were bringing in north of $2 million a day on their microtransactions. And at the end of the day, what does that do for you as a consumer? I'm still of the mindset that, hey, if people are making a decent amount of money, they can afford to pay higher end programmers, more programmers, and keep content fresh. So in one part of me, yeah, I hope they do have something with microtransactions in there. But I also want, like anything else, I want you to be able to grind and be just as competitive in the game with $0, right? Other than the initial fees or whatnot you're paying.
Yeah, I can definitely get down with that. I have no problem, as long as it's not like a pay to win thing where you can get legendary weapons with money. But if it's just skins, so what? If you don't like it,
Yep.
you can still play the game.
Yeah, but you got to have those fresh skins, baby.
Yeah,
Guaranteed you're gonna have a John Wick skin out there. It's got to happen.
it's in everything else.
Yep.
So one thing that really caught my eye while watching some videos today was they have a iridium weapon that shoots weapons.
Uh,
And
yeah,
they said, since the game's a looter shooter, it's a shaluter gun.
that
But
sounds like a Adam Sandler made up word, like in one of his movies. It's a
it's a
schluter.
Schluter gun, but it can
Uh,
drop legendaries, so you can do single or you can charge it up to blast out multiple guns. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I kind of wonder at what point in the game are you going to pick it up? Is it going to be one of those? All right, you beat the game. Here's your Schluter gun.
I don't know. Maybe I get something extra for this $100 pack I got, and maybe I get one. The Schluter. Schluter.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the game. I can't wait till this sucker comes out. Like you said, we've talked about taking vacation time for this bad boy. Get on there, do some streaming, meet some awesome people. I'm definitely going to be playing Flak, the Beast Hunter. And I was looking around, and I think it's the top pick character out of the game so far.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know. I might go with the Siren style because I always have liked that style. Kind of reminds me of the mage in other type games, which is always my favorite type character to play.
Oh yeah, that sucker looks devastating too, man. And
Mhm,
it's kind of the Rambo it looks like to me. You get in there and get in some
mhm.
trouble and just do a big Hadouken and get them all out of there.
Yeah. No, for sure. And don't forget, come by and check us out on stream. We're going to be grinding out some serious hours. I told Kid Rolla today, just get ready for it because we need to be up at 2 a.m. on Friday morning. So I'm not sure if Kid's going to be able to make that. We'll see. But
Now,
I'm definitely going to get that together at 2 a.m. Friday the 13th. We have a date.
now, are they doing a pre-download, or is that when you get to start downloading?
I got no idea. That's just as early as I thought I could get up and still stream through the whole day.
Uh,
And I'm assuming it doesn't have the times released anywhere that I saw. I went through Epic, I went on the web and looked around, and they didn't say a time and a date. So that's just a hopeful wish that they have it out by 2. I'm guessing it's probably going to be a midnight. However, Epic has done a good job of allowing you to pre-download some games and then it releases whenever it pops out. So that's my goal, is to come out at 2 a.m. But in conjunction with that, I'm also going to run the entire weekend as a charity stream. So I'll have my donation pages up there to support Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network. So anybody wants to come out, hang out, save some kids, save some of my booty from dying. And Kid Roll is definitely going to need that, I promise.
for
Um,
sure.
and come out, hang out with us. We're going to put up a ton of hours, one way or the other, and have some fun doing it.
Well, be sure everybody to holler at us on Borderlands 3 when you get it. Kid Rolla and Dragon X will be on there. Send us a friend invite. We'll be playing on the PC, so be sure and holler at us, and we'll holler at you next time.
Later. And that's all we got to talk about today, folks. This is Drag.
And this is Kid. If you enjoyed our cast, make sure and check out our website, follow our socials. We love feedback. You give it, we'll talk about it.
You can find us at kidindrag.chat on our website. For Twitter, it's dragkidin. For Instagram, it is Kid and Drag. Same for Facebook, Kid and Drag. We take feedback on all of those social platforms, and we'll see you next time.
Later.